Good evening and welcome to one and all present here. Myself, Trupti Parekh, your host for today. Switch India is a pan India healthcare organization of 1500 plus medical professionals all across 8 states like Maharashtra, Gujarat, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, Rajasthan, and Karnataka, working on various healthcare related social activities, including conducting free health checkup camps, working on physical and mental health, spreading awareness on various medical conditions, and so forth. Through Switch India, we present to you the series called Stepping Out of PT School and Answer to What After Graduation. For all the physiotherapists to be, in order to explore and know more about the latest options available in your field from those who are practicing them currently. The topics of the series are divided into 4 sections for 4 weeks. In the first weeks, we already had our speaker guiding us on how we can be able to pursue their further studies in foreign countries like UK, Canada, Australia, and US, as well as the options that will be available for jobs in that country as well as in India. In case you all have missed those sessions, then you can check our previous videos on our channel. Have you decided what's going to be your specialization for PG? While studying for my final year, I've always been confused that should I choose musculoskeletal PT or community PT? Neuro and cardiorespy sound interesting, while onco PT is totally new for me. Don't you all face a similar problem? In this week, being the second week of our series, we'll be having guidance from our presenters about the scope and recent options available for specialization in various fields post UG. Once we are done with the studies, begins the actual exam. So, have you all decided which work setup would be the best for you? Do you think working in a hospital would be good, or would you like to set up your own clinic? Many of you could become great researchers, while many can become amazing teachers. In order to clarify our doubts on all these sectors, we have the third week of our sessions in which our speakers, having an experience of working in that field, will guide us regarding the advantages and challenges that we could face in each one of them. The fourth week is about the scope and current scenario of physiotherapy in today's world and how, because of COVID 19, the situation has changed and how telerehab is nowadays going very well. We hope these sessions will be very beneficial for each one of you. Proceeding further with our second section about specialization options after UG, we present our fifth talk for this week, choosing community physiotherapy for PG. I request all the participants to keep putting your questions in the live chat option below and let us know your views in the comment section. Your questions will be addressed to towards the end of the session. I'd like to welcome our honorable speaker for today, Dr. Riddhi Goradia. Dr. Riddhi Goradia completed her bachelor's in physiotherapy from KJ Somaya College of Physiotherapy, Mumbai. She pursued her master's in community physiotherapy from Sancheti Institute College of Physiotherapy, Pune. She stood first in the Maharashtra University of Health Sciences, that is MUHS. She has clinical exposure in various subfields of community physiotherapy, such as geriatrics, health promotion, industrial therapy and ergonomics, mother and child care, sports and parasports, differently abled population, rural regions, etc., along with OPD, IPD, and ICU set up in various hospitals, government, municipal, and trustee. She has given many talks for public awareness about physiotherapy and conducted many physiotherapy camps. She has attended and presented scientific papers in many conferences. She is currently working as an assistant professor in KJ Somaya College of Physiotherapy, Mumbai. She stood first in the faculty category oral paper presentation in an international conference on geriatric care and gerontology. She started her social media and handle along with her physio friend known as Physio Tales to create awareness and to reach out to masses. She believes in continued education, hard work, and determination, prevention of diseases and disorders. Welcome to our channel, ma'am.
Thank you for having me here. So I'm happy to be here for giving, communicating or talking to the newbies of physiotherapy department. So before we begin, let's have I don't want it to be one-sided. Of course, we'll be putting up questions also. So if you are here with me, just put a comment, yes, yes, if you are with me, so that I can begin and I know who is my audience, and so that if there's someone whom I know, and maybe I can address personally also. So put in your comments, yes, yes, if you are here with me. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so let one. Hello, Trupti, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, okay, fine. So I think my frame has been paused. Yeah. So before we begin, so let's have an interview kind of a session. So Trupti, you may start with the questions which you have for me. Okay, so Vineet, Himashi, Sanika, Satish, Pathak, Vartika, Sharma. Okay, fine. So I'm not sure how many of you all are aware about community physiotherapy and its scope, and that is why maybe we are here to guide you further. So we can begin with the interview session. So let's start.
Sure, ma'am. So, ma'am, first of all, we'd like to know your story of why did you choose community physiotherapy as your specialty?
Okay, so to cut a long story short, so here it goes. So basically, from school only, I was always with respect to being a part of community, various programs in the community, and it was moreover I was be it environment or anything related to it, and even in my junior college, it was always helping community and being a part of community. So back then, when I was just looking for fields after my 12th standard, so I felt that yeah, physiotherapy is one field where I can see myself 15, 20, 30 years down the line. Apart from that, during my postings in my undergrad days, it was moreover we were mainly because of academics we were posted clinically, maybe in the more time in the hospital only. So at that point, my major attraction was towards neurophysiotherapy. Simultaneously, we usually have a college festival going on, and we organize various health camps. So I was very much interested and volunteered to go and talk to people in our society and society around, so that we can hold a health camp. So maybe I was just maybe eventually in third year when the PSM subject came, and I was more attracted towards the concept of prevention and how important would we be as a physiotherapist, if we are also involved in prevention. So as we all know that our each of the physiotherapy topic is somewhere related to medical department as well, like I would say maybe orthopedics for MSK, neurology for neuro department, same way PSM, which you all must be knowing that it's run parallelly to community physiotherapy. So in till then was not having much exposure in community physiotherapy back then. But in final year, when we also had our new professors coming to our college who had done their masters in community physiotherapy, the guidance and their perspective changed, and we had a lot of different subjects in that. So that really motivated me because even I would say my fourth final year and even internship topic was related to geriatrics. One was in women's health and another was in geriatrics. So yeah, that is it. And also there was a conflict whether I should be going into neuro or I should be going into community, because the only guidance which I had which was wonderful guidance, that was by my guide and my professor, Dr. Mayur. And that is he motivated. Yeah, there is a scope of physiotherapy, and you can definitely do it. And I see you as being a community physiotherapy. So maybe this also put me across that yeah, this that's why I told Dr. Vinith also, this is really amazing initiative because this is going to guide people, especially with community physiotherapy, where the awareness of this field in physiotherapy itself is less, maybe because it's not been explored well. So that was it that I wanted to explore more and see how much potential I can give it to this field. So yeah, that is why community physiotherapy.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, that's really great. So, ma'am, just one technical glitch here that I think your camera is frozen, so you can just try to restart the camera again.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So, as you said, the guidance that we need for like preparing ourselves for our PG is really important, and many a times we are all very
Right.
confused as to like what to
Right.
choose, what not to choose, and then everyone says a different thing. So,
Yeah,
ma'am,
true.
could you please, yes. So, ma'am, could you please guide us on what is the patient exposure in community physiotherapy that we will get?
Yeah. So as you said earlier, like, it's very community physiotherapy being like, a new field, or maybe not many of them are opting because there are many myths about it, or maybe it's not explored. So myself, people were telling me why you are leaving everything and going for community physiotherapy. That too, like, like why are you leaving Mumbai? Because as I did my master's from Pune, the only college which was off, like, apart from Mumbai, the only city which is close to Mumbai was Pune. And that's why I had to shift my city, because in Mumbai there was no institute under MUHS who was offering community physiotherapy. So you can see even the government colleges is not recognizing, or maybe government is not recognizing the importance of community physiotherapy in contrast. So as you said over here, patient exposure, I would say it's never going to be like, end point to it, because it's the community. I would say it's not only the hospital population which you would be managing or you would be dealing with, but along with that there are many other people, like, outside the hospital as well, which can be a target population. And we know that we have such a huge population in our country itself. So it's never going to be like, that you don't have much amount of patients. It's how creative, innovative you are to have those patients or have those clients with you. In community, you might not always have patients per se, you would have clients as well. So as we all know, like maybe in final year also, if I have students in third year who's attending, they might not be aware of like, different branches and branches, subdomains of communities. So just to give them a brief, so in community physiotherapy, it starts right from, I would say, like, as we know, all know, physiotherapy is from womb to the tomb. So yeah, so geriatrics is one area, ability especially. So if you see that these populations aging, as we all know that our country is aging, and there are a lot of disability or issues because of aging. So, and population is also rising, so that's not going to reduce. One, second, we all know that we spend most of our time at work. So it's related to like where industrial therapy comes into picture. So again, it's not going to end. We have that population as well to deal with. Women's health. So as I said, women's health also, it's across the lifespan, right from, I would say, adolescent to maybe someone who is elderly having menopause. So again, we all know as population is increasing, that is going to be there, and issues in each age group would be different. Coming to health promotion, we know that as become COVID times, we know how communicable disease like COVID has affected us, and we are taking so many measures for the same. So health promotion is mainly to improve your health, to promote your health, and mainly encompasses the non-communicable diseases, which is also a silent killer. I would say non-communicable disease are the ones like diabetes, hypertension, obesity, and all of that. So designing your program for that, so that also there is a scope of patient over there. Coming to rehabilitation of a person with disability, we all know that, like, because of many reasons, we have disability also in disabilities also rising, maybe because of road traffic accidents, or maybe from congenital diseases. Again, at these things, prevention can also be a part. So yeah, as I told you, all these branches of subdomains of community physiotherapy, I don't see anywhere that there would be less scope or less patient exposure. It's going to be wide enough. It's how you pick up. If you I say, okay, I have a female who is in the is pregnant, so I know antenatal care class and all those things. So how creative. If you have geriatrics, so maybe geriatrics also will have different kind of population, maybe just for healthy aging, or it can be that geriatrics is having issues like aches or pains or balance issues or falls. So same way, multiple things, subdomains, and definitely you can treat that. And coming to disability or person with disability, there is this thing known as parasports. I'm not sure how many would be aware, or you all must be following parasports, but yes, so it's also allowing the person with disability to, like, have to live a life with dignity, not just with respect to in other domains of vocation. It can be sports as well. So again, that is one of the upcoming field who wants a combination of sports and rehabilitation. So parasports is also one part. So I hope that answers the question.
Definitely, ma'am. So, community physiotherapy seems to be a very vast field, right?
Yes, yes, it is very vast, and I know this we have restricted time. I can go on talking about community physiotherapy, and it's going to be endless. So, like, let's. I'm keeping it short.
Yes, ma'am. So, ma'am, once one is done with the PG in community physiotherapy,
Hmm.
so what would be our possible
Hmm.
workstations or work setups that we'll work in?
Right. So if you can relate to my answer to the previous talk, as I said, there are different subdomains of community physiotherapy. So it would start right from maybe a hospital setup where you can have people coming to you for group classes for antenatal care or for geriatrics, and also community physiotherapy where prevention is one of the important thing. You can have screening OPD or maybe screening OPD for maybe you're sitting in the medicine OPD or maybe ortho OPD or screening people. Risk factor analysis is very important and is one of the forte of community physiotherapy, that we do a lot of risk factor analysis and screening, and then when required we automatically we try and refer to the appropriate department. So over here, so it can be either in the hospital setup, it would be maybe your own clinic where you are mainly dealing with patients of this domain, or maybe phase 3 and phase 4 rehabilitation. Yeah, so maybe I mean, just taking a minute to explain the phases of rehabilitation. We have various phases where usually phase 1 and phase 2 are the one which are dealt with maybe the core team, maybe it might be in the hospital or in the OPD setup. Okay. And phase 3, phase 4 rehabilitation is mainly when a person has to get back to the activities or the functions, moreover. And phase 4 is mainly when the person has to be integrated into the society or maybe the work. So that is how we usually see. So when phase 1, phase 2 is mainly by MSK or neurotherapist looks after when the person is in IPD or when the person is in the OPD. When I would say moreover, the MAT exercise program or the strength or maybe unilateral access is being focused on. When it comes to phase 3, phase 4, it's more of the function we deal with. So it could be also NGO. It can be also when it's geriatrics. It can be old age home. It can be a nursing home. It can be also dealing with. There are lot of opportunities with under National Health Mission. Now also we are also promoting and talking to the government regarding the policies and putting a physiotherapy over there, because under National Health Mission, that is NHM, we have something known as Rural Health Mission and Urban Health Mission. So again, over there, that is also upcoming thing where you, as a physiotherapist, if you're interested to experience maybe a rural population for some time, you can go there and practice that. If you want to be moreover in the urban area, there is something known as urban health centers. Like we have PHCs, that is primary health center, especially in the rural area, we have urban health centers there. So again, a job opportunity there. Also, there are different types of schools for special kids. So in that also there is this, I would say, a job vacancy available for a physiotherapist. So that can also be one of the things. If you all are interested in public health, so public health also can be one opportunity to take up. Many people after doing community physiotherapy, they pursue their PhD or another triple degree in public health, because community physiotherapy and that's somewhere goes hand in hand. So that all depends on interest. So I have
Right.
that is
Uh,
the answer to the question.
yes, ma'am. So, ma'am,
Yeah.
what are characteristics should an aspirant for community physiotherapy possess to excel in this field?
Okay. So as we have already covered, like almost the first three fields of community physiotherapy, of the other physiotherapy like MSK, neuro, cardio, they must have given few characteristics. I would like to add all of those, like right from your education or knowledge about physiotherapy, to add to it a good evaluation skill and screening, especially like you should be able to screen an individual, because sometimes in our we feel that when in community also, why are we evaluating vision, why are we learning all of that, but that is important, because when you don't have resources or when a person is not able to afford to go to an individual for everything, a screening tool comes into a picture where you're just screening whether the person should be going to an ophthal or a ortho or a maybe a medicine person. So screening tool can be a domain whether a person should be seeing someone. That would be one thing, like screening a very strong base of the knowledge, because over here you have to apply knowledge of all the fields available and then accordingly see like what is the condition. So yeah, also good communication skills, because a community physiotherapist usually have has to work in a team. And if a person is like a team person, a person who loves to work in team and believes in teamwork, definitely that person would be interested in doing this and should have good communication skill as well, because moreover it is working in a team. Also, a person in community should be passionate about the field. If you are not passionate about the field, then you might somewhere feel that why I am doing all of that. You should be thorough that why I am doing this. If your why is clear, then your whatever characteristics are there, it automatically will fit into picture. Also, over here you should be ready to accept the challenges. I would say a community physiotherapist also has to travel a lot. It's not just staying in the hospital or in one clinic. The community physiotherapy has to be there running here and there. I'm not saying like it's just like a traveling job all the time, but you have to reach to different communities, so you have to be spreading across. So should be able to manage all of that as well. So I think those are these special characteristics which one should be having, and also a firm believer of prevention, a firm believer of having a holistic approach.
Great, great. So, ma'am, once a person is looking for colleges for community physiotherapy, so what all characteristics should we look out in the college, like to choose a college for community people?
Okay. So over here, when it comes to colleges, of course, the same question over here. It will depend on what kind of college it is. As you all must be knowing, as you all have done your UG, you all must be knowing that which college falls under which university. So you should be seeing that your college is accredited by the guidelines of our country. Also, it should have a good hospital setup along with the outpostings as well. As community physiotherapy is, I would say, institution based, community based, and outreach services. See if that college has good attachments. Maybe somewhere you're getting exposure of out services, like maybe a rural center or maybe a urban health training center where you can get the exposure of those patients. Also see if you are getting exposure in all the fields if possible. Like as I said, we have subdomains of community physiotherapy. See if you're having good exposure in each, so that you can develop your hands on. And if you want, if you find that okay, out of these 5 domains which are a little different from each other, maybe you can pick up that one thing and do a super specialization in that. Nowadays there is a fellowship also available in that. The ones who are want to opt or want to go abroad, so over there there's no community physiotherapy per se as a master's degree, but they have masters in geriatrics, they have masters in industrial therapy. So maybe one who is interested to have a community physiotherapy as a broad spectrum does masters there, and maybe for super specialization can pick up one. So that is one with respect to college having all the accreditation, having good facilities. With respect to the exposure of patients in different field, also see that if the what faculty is there. Usually when of course the college having community physiotherapy would have a person who has masters in community physiotherapy. So see if if you have good amount of faculty who is masters of community physiotherapy elective over there, because being masters in other field and being masters in community field would have a different impact. So I think these things would be mattering over there.
Great, great. So, ma'am, what all challenges can one face in this particular field?
So challenges over here is one, as maybe I being community physiotherapist and maybe all of us who are into community physiotherapy might not have taken strong measures to promote or take it to another level, but there is vast amount of potential in this field which can be taken across. So the challenges is basically one is a myth or perception of people that community physiotherapy is not a branch in itself. So I think that is one challenge that we need to be clear. No, even there is a lot of potential of a community physiotherapist be. So this is usually challenge even in the minds of physiotherapists. So if I think that it starts from there. So that is one part, and also about the awareness. I experienced in my UG days when I was traveling for my college. At that time, during during your traveling, people used to ask okay, what is physiotherapy? They were not aware of the terminology of physiotherapy. So out of 10 people, we had to tell at least 8 of them that what is physiotherapy, what does a physiotherapist do. But now in the same time, in this 15 years span of time, now people know what is physiotherapy. Now maybe they don't know the branches, so they don't know what are the specialization being offered. So that is one. And also people, when it comes to people mindset, people really don't believe in prevention. जब भी होगा तभी देखा जाएगा. So that is one mindset which might be from the side of an individual. So that is how our counseling skills will come into picture. So yeah, the counseling skill is one of the characteristics which I would like to add in the characteristics which one should possess. So over here, counseling will, of course, it's in all the field, but over here, rigidly counseling will be required because over here, you are going to them, or maybe so it becomes like there's a resistance. You all must be able to relate right now. If I tell you that someone who is coming to work and asking you to take up some, so of course you would be, so no, we are not interested. But same thing when you want to buy it, and when you go to the mall or somewhere, you would be more interested in knowing everything about it. So that is the approach. So I hope COVID times, awaken everyone, where people would also have preventive approach for other kind of health condition. As we all know that for COVID, prevention is the only cure right now. Okay, so same way, there are many other things. So if this mindset has been installed in that, so this can help. So that is another challenge of people, a physiotherapist having that mindset, people having that mindset of prevention, and also the opportunities which a community physiotherapist should be having. Like there should be opening, very well opening in the government setups where there has to be a community physiotherapist. Maybe in the rural area, there should be a post. If a person is interested, can definitely opt for that. Also, there should be a compulsory thing for many corporate companies where we as a physiotherapist has a major role. As I said, we have industrial therapy over there. So it can be management of the condition which an individual has, or it can be prevention of it. So with respect to ergonomics and all, so we all know right now sitting at the home, not going out, maybe we are with the phone or laptop, we know that our posture is being affected a lot, or anyone. So ergonomics will play a major role, and sometimes it's the body posture or the risk factor of the work which is giving rise to problems. So if the cause is not removed, whatever treatment you take, it's not going to change. So a community physiotherapist also should be appointed in various MNCs where they have sound knowledge of the workstation and worker. So all these three things needs to be considered. So yeah, more job opportunities, a mindset of a physiotherapist, mindset of an individual. I think these are the challenges which one would face being a community physiotherapist.
Yes, ma'am, definitely. So prevention will help us uh, in many ways. Like we don't have to face any lifestyle disorders and all that if we
Right,
are working more on prevention. So,
right.
ma'am,
And
talking about patients, yes,
yeah,
ma'am.
and prevention won't be just at the point that we are just preventing the disease. Even after the disease has been occurred, there would be some levels of prevention, as we have already learned, right? There can be secondary prevention, tertiary prevention. Prevention can be at any point of time. It's not going to be just prevent karna disease. No, even after the disease, there are many things which can be prevented.
So, ma'am, talking about patients, so what kind of
Mhm.
patients do we see in this particular field?
So would be repeating myself. So yeah, the patients which we see would be like, I would say, there's always a community and sub community concept. So when we talk about community, we speak about, like as I said, the five main domains, and the sub community is mainly, like I would say, geriatrics. Just to give an example, so in geriatrics there could be it's with respect to the age in our country, we know that it's 60 to 69, 70 to 79. So young, old, middle, old. So that's the sub community. So depending on the sub community as well, so we can have our patients. So all these domains of, geriatric population, maybe person who is working. So we all know all of us are working, not just being an employed or self-employed. It is also the homemakers. Even that is also one of the occupation or work. All of us have some of the, even student for that matter. Because that, what does an individual has to do as a student? Study, right? So again, that becomes a work. So you can encompass any kind of population over there, right from geriatrics, industrial, women's health. In women's health, it would be adolescent sub-community. It would be, I would say, a reproductive age group as a sub-community, and there would be a post-menopausal female. So again, different domains, different aspects or different approach to the same. And if any questions related to these subdomains or something, I think I can answer that via the comments. So you can put it across in the comment section or the live chat.
Yes. So, ma'am, what is the people's perception, particularly about community physiotherapy nowadays?
So I think I would like to put it across the chat box or the comments. Like, what do you think? Like, I hope I have given some insight. Like, if maybe 2%, 5%, I hope that perspective of community physiotherapy is maybe now better, or maybe now changed. I don't know what would it be. But yeah, perception, like maybe 5 years back, what perception people had about community physiotherapy was totally different. Now things are changing. As I said, perception of even a physiotherapist would matter at that point. So it's not just putting it across, but yeah, perception is maybe we don't need a master in community physiotherapy. That is one perception. Okay, some feel that yeah, community physiotherapy is like they just have to travel and they're just outside. We don't think that there has to be something substantial done by them or something of that sort. So varied experiences, varied perceptions. But yeah, if you are passionate about it, if you know what you are doing and why you are doing, and if you are able to answer those questions which is perceived by the others, and I think you are there. And I think more perception can be explained when people put it across in the chat box if they have any.
Great, great. So definitely, participants, if you all have anything to share, you can keep putting those questions and everything in the live chat option available down. So, ma'am, coming to
Trupti, just one thing.
point.
Also, one of the perception is like people usually take up community physiotherapy if they do not get admission in other branches. Yeah, that would be true. I'm not denying the fact. There would be okay, कुछ नहीं मिला community में खाली है seat खाली है ले लो. But then I have seen people even after taking the admission there, their perception being changed after that. Like once they are into that and when they are working, it's maybe they have to deal with it, or maybe because that now they started loving the field. Earlier they might not be aware that what exactly it is, but now they know what it is. So again, this can be one of the perception of others that admission kahin nahi mil raha tha isliye le liya, but that might not be true always.
Yes, ma'am, definitely. So, ma'am, would you like to suggest us any additional courses or workshops that would help one in this field?
Yeah, so there are many workshops which are also government accredited, internationally accredited, especially in women's health, where a person is being trained for antenatal care, postnatal care, like about the breastfeeding techniques and all those. So that is one special part where there are international certification done. Also, there are various certifications with respect to ergonomics. So it is offered one of the courses offered by IIT Bombay, where they train people because they are product designers and all those people over there. So they work in collaboration with them. So that is one certification. And of course, moreover, when it comes to geriatrics, so there are different courses where screening is taken care of. Mainly, it is in collaboration with preventive and social medicine department, which works for.
Yes, ma'am. So, ma'am, before moving on to the viewers' questions, we'd like to know if you would like to share any of your experience with us.
Yeah, so over this span of time being as a MPT student and working now as a faculty at my alma mater, so over here my experience has been excellent, and I mean, it's like I've experienced all the fields of community physiotherapy in its depth. Like we had when I would say industrial, when I would industrial therapy. So also we had given different talks in various companies. We had our outpostings also in Mahindra and Mahindra. Now as an employee, we go to HPCL. So associated with different companies, giving various health talks which deals with prevention and management, ergonomics. Also, we did ergonomic audit. Yes, you heard it right. Ergonomic audit. So basically, it was auditing the workstation. Like, is the workstation appropriate for a worker? Is the working environment appropriate? And all of that. So that was with respect to industrial therapy. Coming to geriatric therapy, we had group classes going on back then. Also now we have group classes, and even in this COVID time, we are having group classes for an elderly with more than 60 participants in our group classes joining us live. We always thought they might not be able to use different platforms online, but then yes, there was a need. Now they know that they have to do. They started doing that. So that was another one. One of the bestest experience which happened to me during my post graduation was that I got a chance to work with an NGO known as Aditya Mehta Foundation, who works with a person with disability who wants to pursue parasports. Yeah, so now you can relay that why I mentioned parasports earlier. Yeah, so that foundation has various athletes who has some kind of disabilities and want to pursue their passion into sports. So right from organizing various camps. So again, why this was relating, you would say why sports came into picture. One is because of person with a disability or child with disability being involved. Also, over there, that the foundation has this thing that who wants to promote or wants to identify various potential people or who wants to pursue their career in sports. So we have a long series of camp where that identification, again screening came into picture over here. One is whether a person would be eligible for getting into para sports, whether a person which sports he is interested into. After a series of days where the person plays those sports under the coach who is also a para athlete, they have been screened that he is performing best over here with the help of a physiotherapist. We being physiotherapists, we know what is the requirement or whether this thing or this disability can be improved or how much, or whether there would be some compensation which can help him or her by maybe prosthesis or orthosis or any assistive devices, and then screening them, opening, putting them across the sports. So that was amazing experience there, where being a team manager, being a physiotherapist, being a person who would help a person like choose a career, a vocation. So a community physiotherapist, as you all, if you all are final year, you all must have read, or if you're an intern, you all must have read about CBR and the CBR matrix, where it is not just related to your health, but there are other domains as well to it. It's social, economic, your livelihood, your vocation, I would say. Everything comes into picture. It encompasses everything. So over here, you're looking at an individual and not as a condition or something. So yeah, that gave me a lot of experience. And this, my PG days and my working, when I'm working right now. So I always believe in a holistic approach, looking person as a whole. So my guy during my MPT days always used to give this example that it's you cannot separate women's health, industrial, geriatrics. No, it's person as a whole. So over here I just gave you subdomains earlier. So a best example would be there was a 65-year-old female postmenopausal working as a vendor, comes to you with chief complaints of low back pain and neck pain. Okay, and has diabetes and hypertension since 10 years. So yeah, too many things, right? And you might be getting such cases day to day, but then think back, sit, what are the things over there? So she is 65, geriatrics, postmenopausal women's health. She's working industrial. She has low back pain and neck pain. So yeah, there comes this musculoskeletal component also with the geriatric component. So geriatric with MSK disorders, and the person has a non-communicable disease like diabetes and hypertension. No, you cannot segregate this. So sometimes in hospital setup where there is phase 1 and phase 2 rehabilitation taking place, you might not get so much of time to get into these aspects, like one single small aspects where you would need a focus. So community physiotherapists come with that mindset where you all must be knowing ICF, so all the components are there, right from functional structural impairment to activity limitation and participation restriction to environmental factor, contextual factor. Yes. So ICF is what you would look at a person and work on entire aspect of it. So if a person is having disability, what would you do? Not just treating that person at that point, but also empowering them to earn the livelihood. So you as a community therapist should also be associated with various NGOs, various setups where you can refer them to learn their vocation. There is one vocational center which is right up across Somaya, where we have the training centers from all the kinds of devices, right from electronics to computers, where they've been taught. So this should be a mindset. You just don't stop at just treating the person for the condition which for which the person comes. Look at the holistic approach and the outer circle as well. And also a geriatric. So and maybe a person is 60 plus over here. Yes, a geriatric physiotherapist will also have a characteristic, or a community physiotherapist will also have a characteristic of considering the environment where a person is staying, how is the environment, how the person has to travel to the OPD, all of that. Also at the same time, like over there, whether the person has some issue. If yes, then how would you make it simpler? So as we in ICF, we have that performance and capacity, right? So capacity could be affected, but performance can be better by giving some assistive devices. So community physiotherapists would also should have sound knowledge of assistive technology, and that would help the person to perform as a whole. Integrating that person into the society should be our goal, and improving the quality of life.
Sure, ma'am. That was really inspiring. So, ma'am, we'll quickly move on to the questions in our live chat.
Yeah, sure. So I'll read it. Yes. So the first question is, which is the best college for MPT? Shritam Swain. So I don't know which city or state you are talking about. So I am from Mumbai. So I know that now there is also institutes in Mumbai have started under MUHS, a post graduation course in MPT. So there is MGM in Pune. If you consider entire Maharashtra, one of the best institute is Sancheti, where I've done my masters with. Not because I've done my masters over there, but yeah, genuinely the exposure is good, faculty is good over there. And also there is Kashibai Navle, and there are other colleges also who offers community physiotherapy masters. If you talk about any deemed university in Mumbai, DY Patil also offers community physiotherapy. Also, one of the college in South, which I know is Manipal. Their exposure is also really great in community physiotherapy. Actually, they also go to the rural area. Their exams is also taken in that their house. Because as I said, it's also the environment and everything which comes into picture when it comes to community physiotherapy. So I hope I answer your question. So as I said, as I enlisted the criteria to look for good college, maybe that can help you to find out college for MPT. Rachna is asking masters in public health or masters in community physiotherapy, which option is best? So over here, Rachna, the role would change slightly when you are a master in public health and master in community physiotherapy. You can see how the job profile will look like. So right now, I have given you, I hope I've given you enough information about how a community physiotherapist would work. So masters in public health would work slightly different. You can check the job role. So whenever you are in doubt, like what would I do after I finish my post graduation as well, check out the job description. The job description will help you to understand. So maybe now that you know about community physiotherapy, you can check out for masters of public health. So moreover, they're involved with policy making and all of that in public health, and it's looking about just it as the word suggests, public health. So it's about entirely about the health. Over here, when it comes to community physiotherapy, of course we look for the things where a physiotherapist would be a part. Like I know that because of aging, osteoporosis can be one of the cause. Osteoporosis can happen because of aging, so I would prevent it from the beginning. But over here, I was thinking with respect to a physiotherapist point of view. When it comes to public health, your outlook would be different, and also it would include the communicable diseases. And also for everyone, not just related to that question, I hope, I'm not sure if you all are aware about the Sustainable Developmental Goal 2030. In your PSM textbooks, you all must have read about Health for All 2000. Then came Millennium Developmental Goal 2015. Now it's Sustainable Developmental Goal 2030, what we are looking at. So over there it says that it's not just like, your health per se. There are many things related to health, right from education to the environment, sanitation, and everything which will be related to health. I think COVID times was really good enough to tell all of us that everything is related. Be it good sanitation is required, good environment is important for a healthy thing. So yeah, public health was also look into those sustainable developmental goal as well. Which college? Again, the same question, Shreya. I hope your question is answered for the same, Shreya Mendel. What is the pay scale of a physiotherapist? So the pay scale of a physiotherapist would of course vary from city to city, state to state, and country to country. Also, it would vary from what kind of a job profile or what you're looking for. Either it is into academics, either it is into in a hospital, either it's clinic or freelancing. What it is, your pay scale would be different. It's all that you need to see what works best for you. And you have, and of course government jobs, when it comes to government jobs, and when I said that National Health Mission has another two missions under it, and they have started putting up vacancies for physiotherapists. If you want a good pay scale, and we all know that government jobs give, most of the government jobs have 7 pay scale. So I think that would be really great if you want to get into government jobs and have all the benefits associated with it. Shritam Swain, it would be good if you put up which city you're talking about, because I think the question is again same, that which college. Again, it would be differ with city to city. Ankit Anand says, after screening, how to look for holistic approach. So after screening, you know that these are the things which a person is having. So of course, if you feel that screening is not just limited, you have so screening is to rule out whether the person has an issue or not. If a person has an issue, you would definitely report it to, like, a concerned authority. You would give a referral pattern. You will refer a person to appropriate authority. So that would be one. And after that, you see how that is going to affect your treatment and how you can modify it. Like, say for example, a person because of aging, the person has hearing impairment. You have screened that maybe while taking history, that you had to repeat loudly and the person was not able to hear, or asked you twice or thrice. You know that there is some issues with the hearing. You did your testing with the you did your screening test with the whisper test. That's one of the test, screening test. You identified it as positive. You send it to a ENT, and now that ENT thing is going to be continued. But when a person comes back to you with for pain, you would know that the person is having hearing impairment. So how that is going to affect? One, your treatment plan, he won't be able to listen to what you're saying. So you'll have to use sign languages and pictures. Two, you would have to have fall prevention strategy, because if a person is not able to hear, the person can have high chances of can is not able to listen to the horn, or the person will have difficulty in crossing the road. So that is how you can think of relating to your case. That was just to give one example. Thank you, Apurva Shimpi sir. So he is my guide during my PG days. Thank you for the comment. Thank you, Satish. Okay. Thank you, Satish. I hope I gave a different perspective to you. Ma'am, could you please elaborate on how industrial subtopic and community PT is different than occupational therapy? Yeah. So over here, we have a lot of gray areas in many fields, I would say. Like, just to give an example, in medical point of view, if you know, like spine surgeries, especially the cervical spine or something, can be seen by an orthopedic or a neurosurgeon. Okay, I might be wrong, but that is my perspective. They usually see, depending on like what is the case. Sometimes if nervous involvement is there, both the faculty can come together and work in a team and do it. So same way in occupational therapy and physiotherapy, there are a lot of gray areas. Over here, when it comes to physiotherapy in a community, in an industrial setup, we focus on more of prevention, designing the workstation, because we know the physical domains, right? Whereas we know that what should be appropriate height. We have learned in detail about the biomechanics. So these are the things where, so the word occupational therapy does not tell us that it's occupation related thing. Occupational therapy is just a terminology over there where they have different branches in that as well. So right from pediatrics, so again a neuropeds and even occupational therapist would see a pediatrics. So they are more into SI. So we have almost divided the aspect that what would an occupational therapist would see and what a physiotherapist would see. And over here, the industrial subdomains would be, as I said, like evaluation of the workstation, doing an ergonomic audit, and having the physical components. What exercises you would ask the person to do during the working hours. We design workstation exercises also, so that stresses on the joint and everything is less. So right from designing of the exercises to the workstation to the management of the problem. So I hope that answers your question. How to be a para sports physiotherapist. Also, thank you for this. So a para sports physiotherapist is, I mean, there's no separate domain of physiotherapy which is offering para sports physiotherapy. But yeah, definitely, if you have your inclination towards para sports or maybe sports for that matter, and you like dealing with person having maybe you can set up goals for people having person with disability, then I think you can combine the two and have this kind of opportunity. As I said, in India, we need to define the job opportunities. We need to create the opportunities for ourselves so that we can stand at a place where we know what is our potential at. So still, we are yet to explore many things. So as I said, Aditya Mehta Foundation is one of the foundation which I know, where they have a physiotherapist also on campus who deals with their training sessions. Okay. Shritam, I am not sure about colleges in Odisha. I'm sorry. What is the difference between physiotherapy and community physiotherapy? Okay. I mean, it's a subdomain of community physiotherapy. Physiotherapy is a subdomain of physiotherapy. I did not get the question. Or do you want to frame it in another way? I mean, as we have different branches of physiotherapy, community physiotherapy is a branch, or I would say a specialization which is offered in physiotherapy. So I think we are done with all the comments over here. So I would like to thank Switch India and everyone for having me here, and thank you for this opportunity that I could reach out to people and maybe have a different perspective, like or enlighten them with the community physiotherapy. So if still they want to get in touch with me as through. She's already mentioned about physio underscore tales. That's the page on Instagram and Facebook. You can DM me so that I can add more light to community physiotherapy and its branches. To conclude, I would say that yeah, prevention is better than cure. Prevention is cheaper than cure. Try prevention. That would definitely help you to have an outlook. See, it's not that के prevention किया तो होगा ही नहीं, ऐसे नहीं है. Right? You prevent, you're doing your part. Then whatever has to happen will happen. Like how it is for COVID as well. So I hope you all are able to relate COVID and the prevention of domains by which physiotherapy can deal with. Also have a holistic approach. Think of an individual as a whole. Do not segregate. Most of the times we see a person coming to OPD like knee pain ka patient hai, back pain ka patient hai. Nahi. Give them respect. How would you like yourself being addressed that way when you're sitting in the waiting room anywhere else? No, right? So address them. That's why I always mention person with disability, child with disability, not disability with child. If you're saying disability first, you're putting more importance, giving more importance to the disability and not to an individual. So there is a lot of scope in rehab and for person with disability as well. And yeah, there is a lot of scope. I think you just have to explore. You should be ready to take risk and work on it and explore. You have to find avenues for yourself. That is what community physiotherapist gives you, that opportunity. How you would go and tell the community, like, see, I have a role in this, I can do this. Are you interested in that?
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much for such an insightful session. So this will definitely guide us throughout our journey to pursue community physiotherapy in our post-graduation. Thank you to our promotional partners, All About Physiotherapy, to help us spread a word about this series. Thanks to all the participants who have been so interactive, and hope that you all have a clearer idea on how to plan your future in the field of community PT. Do let us know your reviews and feedbacks in the comment section. And in case your questions are not yet answered, or if you have any more doubts, then you can let us know in the comment section below, and we'll try to get back to them as soon as possible. Also, if you found this video useful, then do like our video, share it with whomsoever you feel it may benefit, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Click on the bell icon below to get regular updates for more such insightful sessions to come. And see you all in the next session on choosing oncophysiotherapy as your specialty in masters, which will be again live tomorrow, that is on 13th November on our YouTube channel, same time, 7:30 p.m. This is your host for today, Trupti Parekh, signing off for today. Thank you so much.
Thank you.